2020 has well and truly been the year of UFC flyweight champion Deiveson Figueiredo. Fighters like him and fights like the one we saw in the UFC 256 main event are essential to remind us all of why the flyweight division's future should never again be in question. I will get around to the fight itself, don't worry, but when you think back to the streak of dominance Demetrious Johnson was able to carve out at 125 pounds, it certainly made the division seem like it was weak and starving for new talent. And indeed, it could have been. But like the 205-pound division under John Jones and the middleweight crop under Anderson Silva, we are guilty to some extent of underrating fighters due to their inability to defeat a dominant champion. Divisions go through rough patches, they go through resurgences, and while the median size for adult males does in some way allow for the consistent success of the lightweight and welterweight divisions, due to the pool of talent available, we've seen divisions blossom before. Flyweight has truly hit an awesome patch of late, and in many ways, it is thanks to Henry Cejudo finally getting the best of Demetrious Johnson. But in this most recent flyweight title matchup, in the second flyweight-led pay-per-view main event in the space of a month, Deiveson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno did their own job in solidifying the future of that division. Personally, I've always been completely against the idea of depriving flyweights around the globe of the opportunity to compete under the bright lights of the UFC. In all honesty, I think it was one of the most ridiculous topics I've ever seen the MMA world having a straight-faced conversation about. Guys like Figueiredo and Moreno are the reason why you should never have that conversation. There is no telling where the next superstar will come from, where the next fight of the year contender will come from. And while I don't know how far either man can go, I am happy to know that we will at least be able to find out. I'll say no more on the subject of the future of the flyweight division because to me, it's not a discussion we should ever have had in the first place. If I may call this video to a halt. To all of our regular viewers, you kinda know the drill at this point, but we're really trying to up our game here at MMA Dive in order to bring you even more content every week. So if you are really enjoying what we're doing so far, be sure to leave a comment and a like to let YouTube's algorithms know that we're fast becoming one of the best MMA channels on the platform. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so now to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads. Okay, back to the matter at hand. So what exactly went down in that octagon as these two warriors gave us everything they had over 5 rounds? Well, a few things I had suspected were confirmed. Firstly, Deiveson Figueiredo is an underratedly slick operator in moments. That much we knew. But his head movement in there was a joy to behold. I feel as though it's a lot more effective based on his comfort with the level of power coming back at him. But all in all, his willingness to stand there with Moreno and slip punches where he could, if that continues to be his approach at 125 pounds, he's going to pretty much find himself in a lot of situations where he's either going to finish quickly or draw out a war from his opponent. That pressure he was putting on Moreno in the early rounds was nothing less than terrifying. These two guys stood toe-to-toe for the vast majority of the fight's 25-minute duration and barely moved out of each other's range from there on out. As far as Moreno is concerned, it was a coming-of-age performance of the highest order, a truly elite showing that proved him to be among the most driven competitors in the sport today. I remember when I first came across Brandon Moreno during his run on The Ultimate Fighter. Out of the 16 flyweight champions selected to compete on the show, Moreno was considered to be the 16th seeded of the group, meaning he was singled out as the least likely to win the show outright. And while he didn't succeed in upsetting that billing, it's a testament to his character that he's been able to enjoy a considerably better UFC run than any of his fellow contestants on that season. Not only did he navigate being originally cut from the promotion after 2 losses by finding his way back, but he managed to completely blow our expectations out of the water, achieving a run of form that saw him rise to the top of the flyweight pile. And in there with Figueiredo, he looked nothing short of superb in his moments. I did think that the champion won the fight on the scorecards, 3 rounds to 2, but of course given that there was a point deducted, the draw was a fair one in my eyes. And when you factor in the electric nature of the fight and how its momentum shifted constantly, I didn't get that sinking feeling in my chest when I realized that a victor had not been crowned. I think that the division needs a storyline like the one we now have to look forward to. Rivalries like this give us a reason to get excited. Proven stylistic matchups that simply work, ones that produce the thunder. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds for both of these men. Given that both competed at UFC 255 as well, they perhaps deserve some time off more than any other fighters competing this year. But if we look to a mid to late 2021 rebooking for this bout, then perhaps we can put all of this nonsense with Cody Garbrandt getting a shot at the belt to bed. I am a big fan of Cody Garbrandt as a fighter. I think he has some creases to iron out, but when his head is screwed on, he is a legitimately terrifying bantamweight threat. But let's just keep him within the 135-pound picture for now Moreno, shall we? If he wants to make a run at flyweight, then let him take on a top 5 fighter first. Cody isn't even in the title picture at bantamweight right now. And while I understood the need for Dana White and his team to attempt to inject some big name flair into the 125-pound mix, after what we saw in the UFC 256 main event, I just don't think that's needed anymore. There's something bubbling under the surface at flyweight right now. Guys like Askar Askarov, Kai Kara France, Brandon Royval and more. Names that may not carry that much weight right now, but ones that are truly on the verge of breaking through. We all know just how quickly things can change from fight to fight, how one huge showing can be enough to undo an era's worth of misconception. Look at Figueiredo versus Moreno, Figueiredo versus Perez, Moreno versus Royval, Askarov versus Elliott, Kara France versus Royval. These fights have all happened within the last 12 months. Some of them were fight of the night winning showdowns, one of them has been elevated to another discussion entirely. We are seeing a new wave at flyweight, a wave of highly skilled and technically astute all-action fighters, and it has been apparent for some time now. Hopefully a fight like the one that headlined UFC 256 will be enough to make you all sit up and take note of what's going down at 125 pounds right now. The flyweights are here to stay, and by the looks of things, the division has never been healthier. So who do you see winning the inevitable rematch between the champion Deiveson Figueiredo and the challenger Brandon Moreno? And who are you singling out as one to watch in the increasingly interesting flyweight top 15? Be sure to let us know in the comments section below. We really do love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to leave a like on this video before subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads. And as always, thank you for watching.